Hello, I'm your host Angela, and today we're going to be playing Who Wants to Be an Expensive Disney Merch Aficionado? Today our contestant is Joe here. Joe, would you like to say something?
Very happy to be here. Very happy to be here. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications for our future videos.
All right. Well, this is going to be annoying. So today I have 5 questions for you, patterned in a kind of like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. They're all relating to Disney merch, particularly very expensive Disney merch. And of course, one of the objects is real and is something that is either sold for a certain amount or is very, very expensive. And the rest of the things, were made up by our very ingenious crew.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
So, our first question. Selling for up to $800, this collectible originally sold for 25 cents. So, is it A, a PEZ dispenser, B, Minnie girl's bow, like Minnie as in Minnie Mouse,
Okay.
C, Mickey gasoline coin, or D, Thumper's lucky rabbit's foot?
So originally sold for 25 cents. So this is going to have to be something that's very old. I'm going to say, do I get lifelines in this game?
Yeah, you can have a lifeline.
What are my lifeline options?
Okay. Your first lifeline option is...
Do I get like 50-50,
well,
ask the host?
There's only 5 questions, so you get ask the host, and your second lifeline is ask the dog.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'm thinking it's between A and C because I'm thinking a PEZ dispenser or a gasoline coin. I don't even know what a gasoline coin is. So I'm going to say it's a PEZ dispenser because I think PEZ dispensers can sell for a lot nowadays, and I could see that being very cheap. And I don't know what a gasoline coin is, so I'm going to go with that.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, that's my final answer.
All right. Yay!
PEZ dispensers, all right.
So these originally debuted in the late 20s, early 30s by the PEZ company, and the ones that are usually really valuable are the Mickey and Donald ones, and also some of the Snow White. There's Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. And again, if you look at some of these, they're kind of like, they're early mock-ups, so they look very interesting. Mickey has really a lot of black around his eyes, like he's wearing a lot of eyeliner, a little freaky looking. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, so if you are a PEZ collector, start going through, and that's what this whole game is about, just going through your attic and trying to find any expensive merchandise that you have, and then you're going to find out, oh, I had one of those, and my mom threw it away. This
made me think of when we were in Japan, and they had those stores with, like, all the comic stuff in it, and, like, all of the little toys in the plastic containers. I'm like, dude, did they have one of these? Because we could have gotten it pretty cheap if they did. Okay, your second question. If you happen to find these in a vintage shop, you certainly wouldn't buy them for your child. You'd sell it in one of the many online marketplaces where rich people go to buy.
Oh yes,
things.
The fancy marketplace, please. I'm looking for the Dolphin milk and caviar and the expensive Disney merchandise. Oh yes, thank you.
Wow, usually contestants don't do those kind of things.
I'm sorry. I'm getting in the zone here.
Okay, I like it. Okay, so again, you would if you found this in a vintage shop, you would definitely want to sell it.
Well, if I'm in a vintage shop, I want to buy it first.
Well, you buy it for cheap.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
If anybody finds any of these and gets a good deal and profits big, just remember where you got the hot tip from.
Okay, so A, 1930s velvet Mickey and Minnie dolls.
Okay.
B, 1940s Mickey Mouse boy's pocket knife.
Okay.
C, misprinted Dickie Mouse teacup set. Or D, Alice in Wonderland Hot Wheels tank.
Why would Alice in Wonderland have a Hot Wheels tank? I think that one's wrong. Because why would Alice in Wonderland have a Hot Wheels tank? All right, so I'm thinking of something in the clue. You're not going to get it for your child. So that makes me lean towards pocket knife because pocket knife is something dangerous that you wouldn't want for a child anyways. So I'm kind of thinking, hey, I'm not going to buy that for a kid anyways. Misprint stuff does tend to be pretty expensive. I'm going to go I'm going to throw a curveball, though, and go with A again. And I'm going to go with the Mickey and Minnie velvet dolls, because that is something you would potentially get for a child. You could see that in a vintage store, but you would want to sell that on a fancy marketplace.
Are you sure you don't want to use any? Don't forget about your lifelines.
No, I have 2 lifelines, and one's asking the dog, and that's no help. You don't even give me like a 50-50 option. This is the hardest millionaire. And what do I win if I win this? Just like, what do I win one of these expensive merchandise prizes?
You win the contents of this cup.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with A. I'm gonna say final answer. The velvet dolls.
Answer is
Boom!
yes, the 1930s velvet Mickey.
That is
and
the
Minnie dolls.
freakiest doll I've ever seen in my life.
Scary. So those buttons that you see on him are made out of like mother of pearl, like they're pearl.
Okay.
They're made out of pearl. And Minnie, I couldn't get a really good picture of Minnie, but also she has like a little flower. But yeah, they were made by this woman who was commissioned by Walt Disney to make them, and they are really expensive. So this doll that you pointed out is quite freaky looking.
Yes. Haunt your dreams.
Can go anywhere between $700 and like $1,000 on eBay.
That's pretty expensive.
Right. So it is pretty expensive, and you definitely
I
if
can't
you
imagine
see it, you might be like, somebody made this. Like somebody like a amateur seamstress made it. No. Like, I mean, it is a seamstress, but it's legit.
I can't imagine that there's many of these left, because I don't know who would want to keep this in their house. I would think it looks haunted. But this kind of goes back. I mean, a lot of this early merchandise in like the 30s, when they first started creating this merchandise, a lot of it did look kind of off and a little bit freaky. Even if you look at the original costumes from Disneyland, in the 50s and stuff, were kind of scary. Like I would be pretty frightened to see those as an adult today. I'm frightened to look at those pictures.
Right.
So a lot of that stuff, does have that like kind of off look to it. So yeah, I'm not surprised that a lot of this merchandise looks like that, just because, like you said, it was handmade. It's not like it's mass produced in a factory where, it's a plastic mold like it is today, that they're just making thousands of them. This was, hand sewn and designed, and so it's not going to have the as polished look to it, as it would today, which is also why these items are worth more, because they are rare and they were handmade. So
well, I can really see how you passed our barrage of tests to get onto the show, because you really have a really great foundation about this kind of.
It was a very thorough process to get on this show.
It was. Okay, you ready for your third question?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you are. I'm proud of you.
I'm sensing a pattern, though. It's been A both times. So when in doubt, I think I'm just going to guess A.
Park memorabilia is much sought after with collectors. Which of these bizarre items goes for around $10,000?
This could literally be anything, because there are some insane things from the parks. Like if you have old pieces of the ride or anything like that can go for a ton of money. So this one may be tricky.
Okay, so A, the first counterfeit bill ever accepted at Disneyland.
Okay, I feel like that would be hard. That's A. I feel like that would be hard to know what the first counterfeit was.
Please keep your comments until we're done reading through all of them.
Sorry.
B, Disney World cigarette receptacle. C, animatronic Jack Sparrow's pants. D, Indiana Jones's animatronic hand.
All right, so going back to what I was saying before, I think knowing what the first counterfeit bill accepted was, I think that you're not going to know that. So I think that's going to be hard, because I think that would have gone through circulation and you would have never known. Now, if you told me one of the counterfeit tickets that Disneyland took, that they printed the first day when they had like 20,000 people show up with counterfeit tickets, I could see somebody buying that for $10,000. That's a piece of history. That's opening day. I could definitely see that as a $10,000 item. Cigarette receptacle, maybe, it might be tricky on me there, but I don't think so. Between the two animatronics, Jack Sparrow's pants would be worth way more than $10,000. A whole, like, legs, pants, way more. I could see a hand, though, being worth $10,000 from Indiana Jones. So I'm between B and D, because I could see somebody being strange and paying 10 grand for a cigarette receptacle. Well, I have 2 questions left after this. I was going to use a lifeline. I'm going to save my Ask a Host lifeline, because I think I'm 50-50 here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with D, final answer, Indiana Jones hand, because I feel like that would be a pretty cool piece of memorabilia.
Sorry. You're correct!
Yes, very good. That's okay. That's cool. It would be neat if it worked still.
Yeah, it would be. It's kind of like freaky looking. That's like, but actually, I guess at the end of the ride, and it waved to you, so that was a piece of the park memorabilia. So yeah, pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's a pretty cool item. And like I said, I mean, park stuff is.
I wouldn't want it at my house, but
I would. Sure. Park stuff is very neat, and things like this, like with the animatronics. I mean, parts fail on them all the time. Yeah. I mean, if you look at like Conversations with Mr. Lincoln, I mean, they still have that. They still have the Hall of Presidents, right. But those animatronics have gone through many iterations. Animatronics on Pirates of the Caribbean have gone through many iterations. So it's very easy to be like, oh, we're replacing parts and then sell part of it. You know, you still have the animatronic, but a piece of it, is with a collector. Yeah. So yeah, pants. If they sold like half an animatronic, that would be way more than $10,000.
Well, it was just the pants off of the animatronic, not.
Well, then they're not animatronic pants. Then they're just pants.
Well, no, they're not animatronic pants, but the pants they would strip the pants off of.
Well, you said animatronic pants. No. I'm glad that wasn't the right answer because that would have been a trick. So, all right, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you are. I think you have 2 more left, right?
I know. I'm gonna say this now and probably get the next one wrong. I know Disney merch. I can spot the real item. I'm like on the Antiques Roadshow. You come to me, I can tell you what's real and what's fake.
All right.
I was born for this game show. Born for it.
Yeah, I was going to, of all the game show type things we've done so far, you've definitely been, I think, the best at this one. So if you're feeling a little naughty, you could buy this prop that was taken out of the Disney parks for possibly being too scary and making people uncomfortable.
All right, this could be, just before hearing the choices, this could be something from Snow White's Scary Adventures with Snow White, because that ride was considered very scary. So it could be like the evil queen out of that or something around that. Just potentially. Haven't seen any of the choices yet.
Okay.
All right, so let's see what my 4 choices are.
So, A replica of a dead deer originally from Frontierland.
Okay, I don't think that's too scary.
B, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride Devil.
Okay.
C, Snow White with light up eyes from Seven Dwarfs Minecart.
Ah! Interesting.
D,
from Seven Dwarfs Minecart.
A bloody skeleton from Pirates of the Caribbean.
So what's too scary? Snow White's light up eyes. She doesn't even have light up eyes in Seven Dwarfs Minecart. So I don't think that's the case because they haven't taken anything out. That's too new of a ride. That was too easy to eliminate. I'm not super familiar with Mr. Toad's Wild Ride because that's not around. I could potentially see a bloody skeleton, but I feel like there's a lot going on there that it's not going to be that scary.
Okay.
Are you trying to trick me? See what I said before, when in doubt, go A. So are you trying to trick me with the deer? I'm going to use my lifeline on this one, just because there's only 2 questions left. So
Are you going to ask the dog?
No, I'm not asking the dog.
He's sleeping. You probably wouldn't want to disturb him.
It's going to be no help anyways. I'm going to ask the host.
That's so rude.
I'm going to ask the host because I'm going to... it would be dumb not to use a lifeline, when I have it. So I'm going to ask the host on this one.
Okay. So
do you just tell me flat out what the answer is? Is that how this works? Because you know the answer.
You were giving me a lot of credit. I prepared this a little bit of time ago, so you're giving me a lot of credit that I remember it. So I think that for this one, you might want to take a look at things that it's more of not an ethical or religious standpoint, something that would make people uncomfortable in that respect.
So then I think with that, so you're not even telling me the answer, you're just giving me strange clues that I have to decipher. So I think I'm still between my 2 choices of A and B, the deer and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride Devil.
Ethical, more religious.
Yeah, so when you said that though, I definitely was leaning towards B. That seemed to be which way you're pointing me again. What's the point of a lifeline if you don't get the answer? So I'm going to go B, final answer.
The answer is yes, it's Mr. Toad's Wild Ride Devil. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He has a very nice, long, beaky kind of nose, right? This sold for $37,000.
$37,000.
Right. So, I mean, it's a ride prop, so you have to imagine it was pretty big, but...
So this is another example, again, of theme park merchandise.
Right.
I feel like that is like where the money's at. I feel like if you can get theme park merch, so that's my new investing strategy, I think. I'm going to try to get theme park merch on the cheap now, hold it. You hold it because you get it now, you hold it. because it's a buy and hold strategy, just like Warren Buffett recommends. So buy and hold your theme park merch, and then in, I don't know, like 30 years, I'm selling it for 30, 40 grand. Ka-ching, ka-ching. That's actually why I buy all these mugs. This is my, I'm hoping that, they only make like 15 million mugs a year, but I think they're going to be worth a lot of money someday. So
nice. You ready for your final
$37,000. That's insane. I want to meet that person because give me some of that money.
Yes. All right, you ready?
Last one. So I'm 4 for 4.
You are 4.
I was leaning
shocked.
towards Mr. Toad's to begin with before I asked you for help. So I probably should have just went with that and then waited for help on this one, especially if you think this one's difficult. But we'll see.
I will tell you that the host and creators did not necessarily put them in order of difficulty.
Okay.
So you might be okay on this last one.
All right.
So final question.
Okay.
In 2004, a series of 75th anniversary inspiration Mickey Mouses were displayed in the Magic Kingdom. The next year, these designer statues that carried the likenesses of or were designed by famous people were sold to benefit the artist's favorite charities. How big were these mice or mices?
How big were they? Could you have written a longer question?
I know.
You got to condense it. Who wants to be a millionaire?
How big were the dang mice?
So these are recent ones. So this would have been the 75th anniversary of the company. This would have been the 75th anniversary of Mickey.
Mickey Mouse.
Okay, right. Because, he just had his 90th birthday last year. So so 15 years ago. Carry the one.
All right, again, I haven't given you the
75th.
answer choices yet, contestant.
Oh, how big were they? Okay, sorry. All right, I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. Okay, so I just need to know how big they were.
How big were these mice?
Okay.
A, 6 inches and half a pound.
Okay, so this is height and weight. Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry, that's not half a pound. That's a quarter pound.
Okay.
I can't even read.
Okay.
B, I'm fired as host. Too bad they don't have anybody else here, so I'm good. B, 2 feet and 150 pounds.
Okay.
C, 6 feet and 700 pounds.
Okay.
Or D, 12 feet and 1 ton.
Okay. And there was a series of them. Do I know what they're made out of? I can't ask that. That's not in the question. Can I phone a friend? Who can I phone? I'll phone myself. How big were they? So it's a height and weight. So I think 6 inches and a quarter pound. No, they're going to be bigger. They're going to be at least a few feet. So does 6 feet and 700 pounds make more sense, or 2 feet and 150 pounds? Because I think 1 ton is too big.
What? Oh, wait. I think I hear my producer saying that there's actually, you have been granted an extra lifeline.
What is my extra lifeline?
Eliminate. Sorry.
You give me a 50-50 as a lifeline?
Eliminate a choice.
I'll eliminate one choice?
But you can pick.
No, I'm not going to use a lifeline. I'm going to go, just based on this, I feel like B at 2 feet and 150 pounds feels right to me.
Okay.
So
are you sure you don't want my 50-50?
I'm going to go, now it's a 50-50. If I just wait long enough, you're going to eliminate all 3 options for me.
You don't want the 50-50?
No, I'm just going to stick with it. I'm going to go B. Even if I get it wrong, I still got 4 right. B feels right to me. B, final answer.
Answer is...
Oh, 6 feet, 700 pounds.
Yeah,
Those are pretty big.
Yeah, they're huge. And so they sold for a big variety of prices, and they went to a high-end auction. So the Elton John one sold for $52,000.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and then there were also other ones that were based around, again, various other personalities, TV personalities like, Regis Philbin, Shaquille O'Neal, John Travolta, Ellen DeGeneres. So there were a lot of different Mickeys.
There are quite a few.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of those before.
Yeah, aren't they cool?
That's interesting. So they sold and all the money went to charity.
Right. So, okay. And then the artist got to pick what charity that money went to.
Okay, interesting. Mm-hmm. So not bad. Yeah, I think 6 feet, 700 pounds, that makes sense. I was trying to figure out what weight. Like nobody's going to buy a 1 ton Mickey, and nobody's going to buy a really small Mickey. So I was trying to think 2 feet kind of made sense, but right. So 6 feet, some more
Right.
I was
So
to say
it's
life
more
size,
like
but-
it's more yeah, they're life-size Mickeys is
Right.
what they were kind of like
Right.
putting them as, because you figure with the ears, But yeah, so that's I think that would be pretty cool. I would like if I had we had a giant house that we could put him in a foyer, and one of these Mickeys would look really cool.
Put a little like serving tray in his hand. Have him do that. So yeah, not bad. So I think I did pretty good. 4 out of 5. So
you did, and it was the last one that knocked you out, and that was a very that was a dirty question, I have to say. It was a dirty question.
it doesn't matter. I won nothing anyways. It wouldn't have mattered. I win.
Yeah, you would have really, literally won nothing.
It was fun to play though. It was a good game.
Yeah.
Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments what your favorite piece of Disney merchandise that you own is.
Yeah.
We'll see you here next week.
All right, bye.